All right, hey there, YouTube family. We're going to get into crypto today. We're going to start right off by looking at the crypto heat map, which you guys can tell by seeing. It's not a great day in the crypto world, but there are two outliers that are quite surprising. It's the meme coins, Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. But specifically, Shiba Inu is firing off today, hitting its highest high in the last 2 months. What's going on with Shiba Inu? Well, they had some breaking news. Let me share that with you guys. So, breaking, Shiba Inu, Shib price hits 3-month peak, flips quad 01 for the first time. On Saturday, August 5th, Shiba Inu price closed the 5098 milestone for the first time since May of 2023. Why did it do it? Well, it's because Binance announced Shib as an approved collateral asset for crypto loans on the world's most popular centralized exchange platform. So this is big news for Shiba Inu, but I want to remind you guys, if you have watched Shiba Inu in the past, one thing that Shiba Inu has showed us is that it's a huge profit center for these exchanges. Back in the day when Robinhood was making around $50 million a quarter, when they had incorporated Shiba Inu onto the platform, they made $250 million. The bulk of that was made through Shiba Inu. So some people could even interpret this as a desperate move on the part of Binance to go after some of that Shiba Inu community and some of that Shiba Inu money. But it's a reminder to me that the meme coins have a legitimate place in the crypto industry simply because they're popular. They've got a huge following, and when decisions of adoption get made for either Shiba Inu or Doge, it always pulls some money, and that's what we're seeing today with Shiba Inu. People are flocking back to it. But let's continue to read this article. It says here that mounting sell orders on exchanges suggest early investors could sell the news once the market euphoria cools. And so what that means, guys, is that we are not in the markup phase. This is not the season in which these coins are going to hit their all-time highs. What happens is in the winter, and even when the first phase one of the bull run, which is what I think we're in, you're still going to see these altcoins and meme coins move sideways. I brought that up in a recent video, that if you looked at the track record of ADA alongside Bitcoin in previous time frames that are similar to now, that it would routinely run up and run back down to its near 90% low, only to run back up and run back down. And so these are selling opportunities if you happen to get in at a low price. If you're up at a high price and you're a bag holder, then it would make more sense, likely, not financial advice, for you to wait for the final markup phase of Shiba Inu, which would be ahead of us in 2024. All right, I'm going to break down some important commentary on Bitcoin, exactly where I think the charts are telling us that it could go in the month of August and the month of September. And remember, Bitcoin's trajectory is important because it affects all of the altcoins and it affects the miners. I'm going to give you guys the trigger price that would inform us that Bitcoin is going higher, or the trigger price that if we go down to would inform us that Bitcoin's going lower. And I'm going to tell you where, if we go higher, we could possibly hit, and where, if we go lower, we would likely fall to, and the time frame that I'm expecting that to happen. And I'm going to give you guys my top 10 cryptos. I'm going to give you my next 10, which would be my top 20 cryptos, and I'm going to tell you which cryptos I've stopped buying, and I'm going to talk briefly about the meme coins. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you guys for joining me this beautiful Saturday. Thank you guys for hitting the like. You always give me the ton of likes, and I appreciate it. If you're new to the page and you're liking these breakdowns of crypto and stocks and these stock and crypto predictions, then hit the subscribe button to get the next video. Okay, let's just quickly talk about Bitcoin and where exactly it's going. All right, we're in a trade range that we defined months ago, being 31,000 on the high end. And after we had confirmed that we had come out of the crypto winter and the bottom was behind us, I gave you guys that as the signal, the cross over the 20 SMA on the monthly candlestick chart. Every single time we crossed over that line, it created the beginning of the first phase of the Bitcoin bull run. Now, here's what I want you guys to see in the charts today. Every single time that Bitcoin has crossed over that 20 SMA, it normally hits a local high fairly quickly. If you go back and you look at previous cycles, it really did it in 1 to 3 months. Once it crossed over, it gave us a local high, and then between the local high and the halving event, which would follow, it would typically bleed off halfway to the halving event, and then the other half the way to the halving date, it would steadily move back up. And so we know that we've come out of the crypto winter. We know that phase one of the Bitcoin bull cycle has begun. The question is whether we've gotten the local high and we're now moving in a bleed off phase towards the halving event? That's what we've got to determine. And I'm going to give you guys the two prices that I think are going to answer that question for us. If in the coming days we break above 30,475, that's the area of resistance above us, then it would tell us that we're likely going to hit 33 or 34, and that the peak of this initial push up on Bitcoin has not yet been achieved. But right now we're at the bottom of the range. We've been right around 28,000 for quite a while. And if we actually break beneath 28K, then it tells us that that 31,800 that we got in the last couple months, that was the peak, and that we had already entered into the bleed off stage between now and halfway to the halving, and that at this point Bitcoin's going to steadily go down. Now, if you look at past times when Bitcoin had peaked after it broke over that 20 SMA, it has broken down different percentages. Back in 2015, it had a 48% breakdown, which simply means this: if the local peak is 31,800, we could absolutely come all the way down between 18,000 and 16,000 between now and the halving event ahead of us next year. And so that's something we all need to be prepared for. And I think that we'll get a confirmation in August. Now, theoretically, you could really take the fact that we didn't make that high in July as a confirmation. But you know, the markets love to fake you out, and so I'm giving you this defined price point to get a confirmation on the confirmation of which direction we're going. It would have made the most sense for Bitcoin to have peaked in July, but if for some reason it's going to peak 1 month later here in August, then it's going to go to those price points. But if we don't peak in August, then I think we could largely 100% know for certain that the $31,800 price was the peak, and we're going to be slowly bleeding off until we get halfway to the halving, which is going to be later this year around October. Somewhere in that ballpark, October or November will be the halfway to the halving event that's ahead of us in March or April of 2024. And so we could expect that the miners would go down, the altcoins would go down, and Bitcoin would go down from this point forward until later this year. Now, people are going to be like, panic selling, Josh is telling us everything's going down. No, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you how to get a confirmation of that with the price points that I gave you guys. That's how I'm going to get a final sense of confirmation of what direction we're going to get. We break below 28K, the party's over for now. If we break above 30,475, you could just say 30,500, then we're going to go back up to 33, 34. Then we would know that we would have at least 4 months of bleed off after that. Okay, what I want you guys to do is tell me in the comment section if what I just said and all the technicals I gave you for Bitcoin and the explanation of the halfway to the halving event made any sense to you guys. Please let me know in the comment section if you need more explanation on that. And if you guys agree or disagree, I'd love to hear from you. All right, I'm going to give you guys my top 10 cryptos in my portfolio in just a second. Let me take a quick station break for the moomoo investment app. If you didn't know it, moomoo is now available in Canada for pre-registration. moomoo is available in Australia and the US, and now pre-registration for Canada. When you pre-register, I think you have the chance of getting a free gift, but then later on, you're going to be able to deposit funds and trade. Right now, you can just simply register. You can gain access to the app, but you can join the community that I host on the app called Stock Josh Fam. If you're a resident of the US, you can open up a moomoo account right now. You can deposit $100. You can deposit whatever you guys want to deposit, and you can receive up to 16 free stock and a cash bonus of $50. I use moomoo every day. I use their option trading, their earnings calendar, their 8 conditional order types. And we've got a great community over there where we talk stock and crypto. Get your free stuff, get registered if you're from Canada, and come find us. All right, I'm going to quickly go through my top 10 cryptos in my portfolio with a very brief description of what they are and why I like them. You guys have heard these before, but there have been changes to my top 10, so let me get into it. You've got Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin stands in its own league. The government can't sue Bitcoin. There's no founder that they don't even know who created Bitcoin. They've got suspicions as to who did it, but it's untouchable. It stands on its own. It's only growing and growing in adoption and being accepted more and more as a store of value mechanism. I don't think Bitcoin's going away. I think that when we get into the next bull run, we're going to see an $80,000 Bitcoin. That's why I own quite a few Bitcoin. Then we've got Ethereum. And what I want to point out to you guys, I've talked about Bitcoin and Ethereum in my top 10 cryptos before. Why do I like Ethereum? Because it's not Bitcoin. It doesn't do or try to do what Bitcoin does. These guys have become an internet of things. They become smart contracts to connect and change the world through blockchain technology. Their main thing is not a store of value. And so because it's unique, I own some Ethereum. Then we've got ADA. Now, I've talked about the difference between ADA and Ethereum, but they're both layer 1 projects. ADA has a ton of development hours, and one of the things I particularly like about ADA is they're constantly growing their network. They've got some of the most professional developers on their network, and it always seems to me like Charles Hoskinson, who is one of the founders of ADA, he's like the adult in the room. He's the professional in the crypto space, and I think that ADA is going to continue to be a leader over time. You've got Polygon Matic. Now, Polygon Matic is a layer 2 on Ethereum, so it doesn't compete with ADA. It doesn't compete with Ethereum, and it doesn't compete with Bitcoin. It's attempting to scale Ethereum and make it better. Ethereum is the #1 blockchain for users and developers, and people are building now on Matic, which is built on Ethereum. And I believe that in the next bull run, it's going to be the season for layer 2s that are scaling these founded and secure larger blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I like Polygon Matic. Then you've got Quant. Now, Quant was one that I added some months back that wasn't in my original top 10. Quant has got a very unique place in crypto, and again, it's different than Ethereum, different than ADA, different than Bitcoin. It's basically an overledger of enterprise software, or you could view it as a gateway for blockchains to access other blockchains. And so it's a necessity. People are going to need some Quant. Then you've got Solana. And you know what? You guys know, if you followed me on this page, that Solana had fallen from my graces, and I dropped and sold my Solana back when the FTX scandal came out. I thought they were too closely tied. I felt like the price of Solana had been largely manipulated by FTX. But since then, and through the leadership, these guys are great at messaging, they're great at hustling, and they were reborn. They went out and found new backers, new money. They got Google on board, as well as many others. They're out there with creative crypto solutions, and so I began to reaccumulate Solana in my top 10. Then we've got BNB. Now, this one's a little different, and out of all the coins in my top 10, I would say that BNB makes me the most nervous because it's tied to CZ and it's tied to Binance, and there could be some trouble in that organization. They've survived the worst part of winter. They've survived all the attacks and the storms, and BNB has held up pretty well. I think it's simply going to be worth a whole lot more in the next bull run. Chainlink, you have to have Chainlink. Again, it's unique. It's not another layer 1. It's not another layer 2. It's basically the oracle of blockchains, and I think it's a valuable part of the crypto industry. Then you've got DOT. Now, DOT is a layer 1. It's in competition with ADA. It's in competition with Ethereum, but it is potentially superior technology. They've addressed a lot of the security and the scaling issues, and they have a ton of development money. I've got a nice bag of DOT. I have sort of stopped buying DOT. I'm not still in accumulation of DOT, but I definitely haven't sold any, and it's definitely one of my largest positions, and I'm hoping to get a huge return in the next bull run. And then the last one is XRP. Now, XRP is an interesting choice. You know, the XRP army, if I say anything bad about XRP, the XRP army is going to come after me. But you guys know that I've given some sober overviews on XRP in the past. There's a lot of people that call it up to unbelievable valuations, saying that it'll reach $10,000 per coin. We saw that they sort of won the lawsuit recently, or at least it got a favorable judgment, and the price jumped up, but it really didn't jump up very much. And people were expecting it to go much higher, $2, $4. I actually still believe that from the technicals that I showed you guys when I covered XRP last, that there absolutely is room to at least $1.05 and higher. I haven't sold any of my XRP. I'm still holding it, and I'm hoping to make some good money on it. But let me give you this warning regarding XRP, because some of you guys might have bought it and not known the whole story. XRP is the native token on the Ripple network. So they don't need XRP to run the Ripple software. They could create another token. They could run it without XRP. They could run other assets on the network. And what that simply means is that whenever you guys hear this story that something is so essential, it's absolutely needed, and that the world can't operate without it, and that's why it's become immeasurably valuable. You guys, you got to be careful, because at the end of the day, it's just not true. These are softwares that have been developed with a minimal amount of development hours. It's not like millions and millions of development hours have gone into these. They can be duplicated. They're not invaluable, and they're not worth what some people are telling you they're worth. I am only trading XRP as a speculative asset that I'm attempting to buy low and sell high. I would make a huge profit if I were able to sell it at $1.05. I'm not telling you guys I'm going to sell it at $1.05. I'm probably going to sell it later in 2024 or 2025. So those are my top 10 cryptos in my crypto portfolio. Let me give you guys a quick sneak peek at the next 10. So this will give you guys my top 20. My next is Arbitrum and Optimism. You guys know that those are also layer 2s on the Ethereum blockchain. They're similar to Polygon Matic, and I believe that between the three of them, that the level 2s are going to have a great bull run ahead of us. And so I wanted to be diversified because I really don't know which one's going to perform the best. I have been accumulating Polygon Matic for a long time, and when I was able to accumulate the two of these, I began to put the money that I had been putting into Polygon Matic, I began to put it into Arbitrum and Optimism. And when Polygon Matic came down, I bought some more, but right now I'm buying those two weekly. Then we've got Kaspa, K-A-S. Now this is a layer 1. It's got the fastest proof of work using the Ghost DAG protocol, which is unique, and I'm hedging my layer 1 positions with a little position in Kaspa. Then we've got XLM, Stellar Lumens. Now this is kind of similar to XRP. Again, I could just hear somebody in the XRP army saying, it's nothing alike. But XLM handles cross-border payments, and there's been a lot of adoption with the banking institutions with XLM, and I've got a nice little position of XLM. Then you have Avalanche. Now, I'm not currently buying Avalanche. I bought it for quite a season during the bear winter. I'm not currently buying any. It's also a layer 1, but it's basically 3 blockchains in one. Now, a newer addition to my crypto portfolio has been ICP, Internet Computer Protocol. Now, this is going to be a small position. I'm not going to have a massive bag of ICP. They're also a layer 1 Ethereum competitor, but I like the network that's been building, and they're super fast at transactions, and so I purchased a little ICP. Then I've got Uniswap, and out of all the ones I'm giving you, even though Uniswap is not in my top 10, I could easily make an argument for putting it in my top 10 because, again, it's very unique. I could see rolling over some layer 1s or some layer 2s that ultimately don't win out. I could see rolling all those profits over to Uniswap. Uniswap is a decentralized crypto exchange. And again, when you see companies like FTX collapsing and all the others we saw, Voyager and BlockFi, Uniswap starts to look pretty good. And as a reliable platform, I think a lot of people are going to be buying some Uniswap. Then you've got File Token. Now, there are some File Token competitors that I've recently been buying, but I'm simply going to mention File Token because it's one that I've accumulated in the last 12 months. These guys are a solution or a competitor to traditional cloud services. It allows the blockchains to store data onto Filecoin network, which is a decentralized data encryption cloud. And then the last one in my top 20 is Maker Token. Maker Token is a utility token on the Maker platform. It works with the DAI stablecoin, and if you dive into that entire ecosystem, one of the things you see is that it's extremely well funded. I've owned them before. I made a really nice profit in the last bull run. I've accumulated since it's come down and gotten cheap, and I'm believing that it isn't going anywhere. The Maker platform has only been growing in the crypto winter, and so I've been slowly accumulating Maker. Of my top 20, it's one that I'm weekly buying right now. All right, that's a picture of my top 10 and my top 20, but there are some coins that used to be in my top 10 and top 20 that I are no longer in there, and let me tell you guys what they are. Some of you guys might be a little bit upset about it, but the ones that are in question right now are Algorand. Algorand, man, has had some troubles. They have not done well in the crypto winter, and you can't be loyal to these. At one time, I was super excited about Algorand, but the performance, the drop has come down 98%, making it have a worse performance than meme coins. That's unacceptable when it comes to measuring these cryptos, and so Algorand has performed very, very badly. I stopped accumulating it, but I have not sold my Algorand bag. But I'm going to sell it very quickly when we get into the run-up phase. I think that I'll be able to sell it for more than it's currently at, and so I haven't dumped my Algorand bag, but as soon as I can, I am going to dump my Algorand bag, and I'm going to roll it into something that's moving much faster. I do not like Algorand anymore. They've had some other developers like AlgoFi, which gave up the ghost and failed. That's not a good sign when you see big development projects on a blockchain simply give up and close shop. That's what happened. That's been happening with some of their developers. It's just one of the concerns. One of the other biggest concerns about Algorand is that a lot of people believe that there is too many of the tokens which are controlled by the founder and the founder agents, which means that these guys can manipulate the price, and people don't like that. And then these two, which if you guys have been following me, you've probably heard me say before that I've been bearish on Mana and Sand. I know a lot of people have been bullish on them. Now, I sold all of my Sand and I rolled it into Mana, but I don't have a big position of Mana. It's more of a placeholder position. Mana had done really well for me in the past, and so I'm a little bit loyal to it. I made some money with it, and I feel like I want to make some more, but that's the only reason why I didn't dump it. I noticed quite a bit in the last bull run that projects like ApeCoin and the Ape Metaverse were just totally outshining these other older metaverses. But the biggest problem, and I've told you guys each and every time I've talked about Mana and Sand, is that there are no daily users in those metaverses. And I think that when new metaverses, if ApeCoin or the Ape Metaverse relaunches and begins to do some more development, you're just going to find that people are going to just rush over there. They're going to forget all about Mana and Sand. And again, that might upset some of you guys. I'm not buying it. You guys can buy it. You guys can load up. I'm holding my Mana, but again, if I get an opportunity to sell it at a profit, I will sell it because I think there's going to be better metaverse projects. But, you know, I'll keep an eye on it. And if Mana wants to take off and start breaking some records, then I will get back into it. But it's not going to hold a cherished place in my portfolio. And then Flow. Now, Flow has turned out to be a big disappointment. I covered and gave an entirely designated show to Flow last year because it really was an up-and-coming crypto project. But crypto projects fail in the crypto winter, and Flow is one, along with Algorand, that appeared to fail. Flow was closely tied to FTX, and a lot of its investor community was through FTX and their affiliates, and so Flow took a major hit there. And then some of the biggest projects on Flow began to go into decline, causing a lot of people to lose interest in Flow. And here's, again, the rule of thumb when dealing with buying a crypto. You don't want to see it break significantly past a 90% decline from its all-time high. You can accept meme coins going to 95%. But if you get past 90% or even 95%, it means the project is something's wrong with it. And Flow went all the way down to 98%. I stopped buying. I sold what I had to put it into better projects. All right, I'm going to end up here with the meme coins, which is a favorite category for a lot of people. Shib is having a wonderful day. And I'm going to tell you guys, I like the meme coins. The meme coins have been very profitable to me. I'm not one of those investors that pours an obscene amount of money into the meme coins and holds them forever and hopes for the best. I swing trade the meme coins and I accumulate the meme coins. The meme coins, Dogecoin and Shib coin, fell into accumulation when they've hit their low and they began to move sideways. I've talked about it many, many times. We recently had a breakdown after the SEC nonsense in the Shib and Doge price, but those were buying opportunities in my eyes because I believe that we're in accumulation and that these are going to do way better. They're going to make a run at their all-time highs in 2024 and 2025. You can see that Binance got behind Shib. Why did Binance get behind Shib? Because it is a popularity contest when it comes to some crypto projects, and Shib is winning the popularity contest. It's been a money maker for these exchanges in the past, and that's why Binance got behind it. And it's an indicator to me that when we get back into the markup phase and these begin to show a sign of life, they're going to pull that retail buyer again, and it's just going to skyrocket. And so it's a great time to accumulate these right now, in my opinion. Dogecoin, why do I like Dogecoin now? Which do I favor, Doge or Shib? Well, I mean, I hate to go against Shib, especially on a day when Shib is outperforming all other cryptos, but I kind of favor Doge because I kind of favor Elon. I'm kind of a Tesla guy, and Elon seems to be behind Doge. I think he sees the power of the crypto popularity contest, and he is I think he's going to incorporate Dogecoin into the X platform, which was formerly Twitter, and we're going to see Dogecoin have a massive run-up moment. It wouldn't surprise me if Elon's building his Doge bag right now. You know this guy loves to play with the crypto meme community. He can't betray Dogecoin because he's tied himself. He called himself the Dogefather. That's why I continue to buy Dogecoin, and I like it long term. Now, you guys would be surprised to know that I get some BONE. BONE is the governance token for Shib. I've been slowly adding that. Not a ton, but I've been buying some BONE. And then I've got a guilty confession that I am going to be an investor in Pepe. Now, you guys, Pepe is trash. I actually do not think that Pepe is like Doge and Shib. I don't think it's ever going to have that sort of community success, but I do believe that Pepe is going to have another run, and right now we're nowhere near a buy price. Matter of fact, if you're in Pepe, I would see it as I would call it and classify it as a sell, but I'm watching it, and here's what I'm watching for. Back in the day, before Shib took off, you know, Larry and I were talking about Shib before it ever took off, and we had one of these conferences, these business meetings to talk about investments. We both identified that Shib had the potential of having a massive run-up. We both took decent-sized positions in Shib, and within a couple weeks, it went on that massive run-up. But if you remember the Shib chart, you had this massive peak, and then it came down, and it went flat for a long time. That's when everybody forgot about it. Everybody thought it was trash and it wasn't worth anything. Everybody gave up. When you see it go flat for a long period of time and it begins to look like it's forgotten, that's when you take a position, because once the meme coins and Shib and Doge start taking off, somebody will start pumping Pepe coin back up, and it could easily hit a new high, making it a money-making opportunity. So I'm not buying it now, but when I do take a position, I will come out here and tell you guys so you guys can make your own decision. In a way, I'm reluctant to talk about Pepe, but the reason why I'm talking about it is because I have a commitment to share with you guys my investments, and it is going to be one of my investments. But the reason why I'm reluctant to talk about it is because a lot of retail traders, they don't diversify, they don't have good financial discipline, they go all in on one project, and they're not even using the charts to determine when that go all in spot might possibly be. In my mind, there is no go all in spot for Pepe, but there's a place where you could make a reasonable speculative trade with a little bit of money for a potentially, it could be a 10x, a 20x opportunity at the right moment, but you've got to be willing to lose all of it. Guys, that wraps me up for today. On this subject and on these top 10, I've got some future videos I'm going to do where I'm going to break down the current target price for those in 2024, where I think my top 10 will hit, what prices they'll hit in 2024, 2025, as well as my top 20, as well as my meme coins. I'm going to break all those down. But I always like to hear from you guys. Which crypto do you want me to cover the most? Because I will look at the comment section and I'll cover that first. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for the like. If you don't want to miss out on these types of videos, you've got to hit the subscribe button. Find me over in the moomoo chat. We'll talk some more on Monday morning. Peace and blessings, guys. Take care.